The year of X Plus 2015. Yeah. Figure of the year. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, but you know what? Let's find out. Let's do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah. Y'all ready to play some football? Just let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to...
What's going on, people? ALP 2000 right back at you with another video. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a very special video. As you read in the title, you already know what it is. Today, I'm going to decide, at least from my perspective, this is my opinion, whatever, the best figure that X Plus has brought to us in the year 2015. And like I said, it's just my opinion or whatever, but let me just say that from as far as the collector, this has been a wonderful year for X Plus 2015. They have brought so many wonderful figures here. Here's a little sample of what they brought to us, the excellence they brought us. There are a lot of figures that I didn't get that deserve to be mentioned or whatever. But I think a case can be made for every single one of these figures. But however, there's only one, maybe two, or maybe three. Like I told you, this is very difficult. But to me, this has been a very, very wonderful year, 2015 for X Plus, and it's going to be hard to decide what the figure of the year is. So, I mean, like I said, this is just a little small example of the big releases that came out this year. There are a lot of other figures that I didn't get, which also can be considered figure of the year. You got you got the resin Real Master Collection of resin Gammas. They released all three Gammas this year from the Heisei period, 95, 96, 99, as well as Ultraman monsters, as well as the Godzilla 1968 25 centimeter that came out like in January, or the Anger's 25 centimeter, or the Gorosaurus 25 centimeter, or the 25 centimeter Burning Godzilla, or the Mandaset. This has been a really, really awesome year for X Plus, and even more awesome for us fans and collectors. And like I said, I got a good majority of the big releases this year. Like in around February when Guy Gang came out, what a wonderful release. Even though it was a reissue with the, the lighter really was a selling point for me. Then came Mothra 1964, right here. Of course, and I had to get this because my favorite film of all time in the Godzilla franchise, Mothra vs. Godzilla, with the egg being the selling point, which is basically the point of the story in the film. So this is really an awesome piece, as well as the Sakai 91. Do I have to explain that? No, I really don't. Then came, I believe the Biollante Rick Boy set came. And I know that's a reissue of sorts, which may not be considered to be a release from S Plus, but at the same time, it's still a release. Even though it was reissued, it's still a release from S Plus. So I still consider that a release, despite being a reissue or not. With the light up features, very, 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 very cool. Then you have the Godzilla 2014. Actually, you know what? I think 2014 came before the Biollante set. I don't know, whatever. Wonderful, wonderful representation of the Godzilla 2014 design. I know it's kind of a 50-50 amongst fans, whether you love it, whether you hate it. But this design from X Plus, this figure from X Plus made me a believer in 2014 design. I wasn't feeling it all that much. I mean, I liked it, but it really didn't, something I gravitated to a lot. But this figure changed my mind. It really pushed me over the edge. Then the 25 centimeter Burning Godzilla came out. Had mixed reaction, but it was still a wonderful piece to go on with the upcoming Destroyer. Then Destroyer came out just recently, December. One of the best figures of the year. Absolutely awesome, whatever. Before that, we had a gigantic series, the Godzilla 2000, which I know, I had gone on record by saying I wasn't feeling it, but I have eaten crow ever since that day I got it, and it's one of the best pieces of the year. Then the Manda and Martha Ripboy set, which is a vital piece if you want to have the complete Destroy All Monsters lineup. Just so many wonderful pieces this year. It's really been an awesome, awesome, awesome year. And it's going to be kind of hard the X Plus to top this year in 2016, but we'll have to see. You know, they're already going to start off on a great note with the Sakai GMK that's coming out, a 30 centimeter. So yes, I can tell it's going to be a great year for X Plus. In my opinion, it's going to be kind of hard to top 2015. However, if I have to pick one figure that to me symbolizes the best of 2015, it's a tie between Destroyer and the Sakai 91. I have to say. I mean, I've been looking for a Destroyer for a long time. I've been looking for a Godzilla 91 from S Plus for even longer time. But these in the top two. But if I had to pick one, it would have to be the Sakai 91. I just love this figure. It's my favorite incarnation of the Heisei Godzilla. I mean, Destroyer is like he's up there with the Sakai 91. He's like maybe like a half point off. But from my personal perspective, once again, this is just my opinion. And Sakai 91, for me, is the 2015 figure of the year. The detail, the superb detail, the amazing detail, the face, the craftsmanship. X Plus did a wonderful job with this. You know, it just, when they announced it, and when they announced it earlier this year, I was really surprised that they were coming out with one. But when they did and they finally delivered it, when I finally got in my hands, yes. I'm so happy. I am. And to me, this is just the figure of the year. Sakai 91. Or Destroyer. But to me, it's the Sakai 91. But like I said, this is just my opinion. Everybody out there has different opinions. I'm sure there's some folks out there that believe the Bellante set is the figure of the year, or the Mothra is the figure of the year, or the Gigantic Series Godzilla 2000 is the figure of the year, or Destroyer, or the 2014. Or like I said, even the figures that I don't have, that's not here, that were released by X Plus, the 25 centimeter Burning Godzilla, the Gameras, the Gigan, and just a lot of figures that, you know, could have been the figure of the year. It just depends on your perspective and depends on how you feel about it. I mean, there's no way to say, hey, this is the figure of the year. But in my opinion, this is my opinion as far as like craftsmanship, movie accuracy, the whole 9 yards. I think they captured both the Sakai 91 and the Godzilla, the Destroyer figure. But to be selfish, I just have to say the Sakai 91 is a figure of the year for me. So, but that was a wonderful year. It's been a wonderful year. I've had a great time on YouTube. My videos, y'all been really cool. And before I fade out, let me just give you some ideas I like to drop on X Plus. Hopefully somebody from X Plus is listening to this. If not, maybe somebody that knows somebody that can get the word X Plus. But here's some five ideas that I would like to see in 2016. Okay, number 5. I would like to see a 25 centimeter Godzilla Jr. to go with the Godzilla, the 25 centimeter Burning Godzilla, as well as the 25 centimeter Destroyer. That would be a great setup and the perfect way to have the complete lineup from Godzilla's Destroyer. So maybe a 25 centimeter Godzilla Jr. or maybe a 30 centimeter to go with the big guy right here, with the gigantic Burning Godzilla. Of course, I had one made because I didn't think X Plus will get around to making one. But if they do, maybe they can make a 25 centimeter, like I said, for the for Destroyer and 25 centimeter Burning Godzilla, or maybe they can have one for the Gigantic Series, the 30 centimeter, to go in scale a little bit. So that's number 5. Number 4, I want to see. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll see a Legion at some point. I hope they don't abandon it like they did with the Gauss. Eric Henry, I know you're going to feel me on this when I say this. Hopefully they can bring that to us too, the 30 centimeter Gauss. I have not forgotten about it. Neither has Eric, and I'm sure a lot of other Gamma fans, you know, but I'm sure we'll get the Legion, so hopefully we'll see that in the next year, or whatever. And hopefully we'll see a Gauss. Maybe not next year, but at some point. Please give us that Gauss, the 30 centimeter Gauss, 1967. I would like to see that. So time will tell with that. Number 3, with the release of Destroyer being a very complicated and really kind of hard monster to build, like I said in my review, you know, the fact that they were able to pull this off is really awesome, because Destroyer is a very complicated monster to make on a massive scale. But they did. I mean, you had to figure out or wonder how the heck they did it, but they did it. But with this figure release, maybe they will be open to more other complicated figure releases. Like I said, we got Legion supposedly coming out. But maybe they could lead open to other more complicated monsters that we have not seen from X Plus, like a Mega Gearus, GMK Ghidorah, aerial form or larval form version of Batra, or maybe a Kaiser Ghidorah from Godzilla Final Wars. So hopefully with the release of Destroyer, that will open more doors, more complicated figures to be released to us down the line. Okay, that's number 3. Number 2, the Gigantic series. I want the Gigantic series. I said it before in my Red Boy Gigantic Series G2000 review that I want to see a Godzilla 54 or Godzilla 62 as the next Gigantic Series figure. Thanks to John Stanowski's Kaiju Addicts interview with Gia Akamoto. So he referenced that he said that he would like to have the 89 or 62 or 54 as the next Gigantic Series figure. But like I said, I want a 62 or a 54. Maybe the Red Boy option of the 54, the standard being the black and white version, or the Red Boy being a colored version, like they did with the Wonderfest G54 a couple years ago. Or maybe the Godzilla 62, standard being regular, whatever, and the Red Boy maybe have like a little mini submarine Seahawk. You know, the submarine that crashed to the iceberg that basically caused Godzilla to come out of the iceberg in the first place, or whatever. And number 1, here's what I'd like to see next year. 2016 is the anniversary, a 50-year anniversary of Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, Gamma vs. Baragon, the Damagen Trilogy, and War of the Gargantuas, and Ultraman on TV. So I'd like to see maybe S Plus bring some kind of figures from us from either of those properties. Maybe like a Gigantic Series Ultraman, which Mr. Akamoto said that he would like to maybe dabble into with that. Or maybe a bigger version of Gamma 1966 or Baragon. We got a 25cm version of those, 25cm figures of those monsters, so maybe they can beef it up and give us a 30cm Gamma 66 or a 30cm Baragon 1966 or whatever. Like to see that. Or maybe the War of the Gargantuas, because we already got a 30cm set of both Santa and the guy that came out from Diamond a couple years ago. Maybe they can reissue that as another set. Maybe have them all bloody as Rip Boy versions. You know how they looked towards the tail end of another film when they were trying to kill each other. Or maybe they can reissue. Maybe they can release a 25cm set in different poses or whatever. So that's an idea. And or Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. Maybe they can reissue the Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster set. You know, with the 25cm Godzilla 66 or the Ever 66 or whatever. Maybe they can reissue that next year. Or like I said with the Gamma, maybe they can reissue that in bigger versions of the figures. Like a 30cm 66 or a 30cm Ever, whatever. Because we got like a 25cm and a 30 Godzilla 68, an 84, a 62, a 64, and so on. So maybe beef them up for bigger figures of those two monsters, as well as Gamma and Baragon would be a good way to go. So, man, I'm just, whoo! But yes, those are my ideas for S Plus. Maybe we can see some of that sometime next year, but that's the whole point about being a fan of S Plus. You never know what's going to come out. When they release stuff or announce stuff like towards the tail end of the month or first of the month, you never know what's going to come out. And they have really done a great job this year with what they've done. With the detail, with the Gigantic Series, G2000, Destroyer, Sakai, got to 2014, or whatever. They have really done a wonderful job. And it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be kind of hard to top 2015 with 2016, but like I said, we're starting off on a great note with the Sakai GMK. So, but in the end, us fans are going to be the winners. This has been a great, wonderful year for X Plus, and I'm looking forward to 2016 and many years to come as a Godzilla, as an X Plus collector. And I want to thank y'all so much for riding me with me this year. Y'all been so wonderful, so great, so supportive. Even like I said, with the constructive criticism, y'all have been respectful and nice, and I can't ask anything more from my fellow fans, fellow collectors. And that's all we are. You know, we're just trying to have fun. That's the purpose of buying these, collecting these, interacting with each other on Facebook or any other social media outlet. That's what it's all about. It's about having fun. I'm looking forward to having fun in 2016. And check out the Facebook groups I'm about to mention. Toho Kaiju Union, Toho Nation, Toy Explosion, Japanese Toy Figure Services, the X Plus Collectors Facebook group, and the Godzilla Collectors Facebook group, and Sci-Fi Labyrinth. And check out KaijuAddicts.com for all things X Plus. All right? Once again, the figure of the year 2015, in my opinion, the Sakai 91. But once again, a case can be made for every single one of these figures, as well as every other release that X Plus has done this year. So once you Type down in the comments on what you feel is the figure of the year. And like I said, I won't be able to argue with you. I don't think anybody will, because the detail, the craftsmanship, and the straight up awesomeness that S Plus has done for us this year has really been unparalleled. And I'm looking forward to see what they do in 2016 and years to come. All right. Thank you for watching. That's it. And I appreciate it. And I will see y'all again on the next figure and move review. All right. Y'all take it easy.